my thoughts. I shut it down wherever power is stored. Being real is in the past, watching cowards get on. It ain't kill me, so it's making me stronger. And these bite-sized rappers down.
So this is April tier list for global Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle 2020. I'm gonna say that again for the people that are not listening, because I will in fact get a comment in the comments of this video saying, why is LR Tech Transforming Vegito not on this list? Why is LR Intelligence Rose Goku Black not on your list, man? Why is Broly Lemon Chile not on your list? Their voice cracks. It goes high pitched as well, because you know they're wearing dorky glasses and they're on an iPhone 4 and they're asking me these questions. And before you ask that, listen to what I have to say again while you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, while you're following me over on the Twitch channel. This is April 2020 global international version, not Japan, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And I even made it abundantly clear. Here we go. We got a Japan only tier. Let's start it off. So I think everybody kind of knows who's gonna go at the bottom. It's sadly just how it is. Strength Broly going at the bottom. That's gonna be B tier, not Bay tier. He ain't the Bay, but he's B tier. And I think people could have rated him higher in the past. He gives himself flat attack and gives himself a negative minus 20,000 defense. Now, the negative 20,000 defense isn't that big of a deal nowadays because people are, support units are giving you so much defense, 40%, 50%, 70% defense boost, right? It's absolutely crazy. So let's just say if Broly's defense goes up to like 115,000 defense, right? Because of all the supports on his rotation, then he's only knocking it down by 20,000. He's bringing it down to 85,000 defense, which is not horrible. It's not terrible. Like, it is what it is. But that goes the same with his attack. It's the same with his attack. So if his attack is 150,000, then it's a flat 80,000. It stays at 220. It's not multiplying up to like, you know, oh, he gets 150% attack boost. He gets a 200% attack boost. So it's boosting up even higher, right? It's always going to be that 80,000. And that's where he falls flat because he's always going to do on world tournament teams for the most part, million damage. Sometimes get a little bit higher if he can crit and whatnot, but that's about it. Million, 1,500,000, whatever the case is. Sometimes 2 million. And if he's doing type advantage, sometimes a little bit more. But this is his ceiling, pretty much. He's pretty much hit his ceiling. He ain't going to get any better than where he's at right now. And in actuality, he's going to start falling off because the percentage, again, is just going to work off of his raw stats. And his passive is only ever going to give him 80,000 attack. And that's it. So that's where he is, you know, that's where his ranking is right now. He was top dog because of World Tournament, but now we have so many good AoE type units that you can bring along if you don't have this dude, right? Physical Super Dragon Ball Super Broly. You have the new LR Krillin that just came out over on JP when we get it over on Global. You have the AGL Frieza. AGL Frieza, who's shooting the blast into the planet Namek. You have Fat Boo. You know, there's just like a ton of different units that can do that AoE damage, and they can do it fairly easy. And if you load a bunch of them onto the team, then it pretty much replaces Broly. So his categories are insane, like Resurrected Warriors. That's the new category. Okay. Resurrected Warriors, Movie Bosses, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Target Goku, Explosion of Anger, Revenge, and then he's on that brand new category that just came out with Nappa and Vegeta, Diabolical Villains. And then his links are pretty good too. Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Berserker, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. But yeah, he's that's where he's gonna be at. He's gonna be B for the bottom. Goten and Trunks. Goten and Trunks. Now, why are they better than Broly? Why would you consider them better than Broly? The reason why is just one reason. They have 120% chance, or not chance. It's 120% attack increase when performing a super attack. They are not flat damage. All right, they're not 80,000 and that's it. It's 120%. So that means it's constantly going to scale off of leader skills. So if they're in the future on a 200% leader skill, a 220% leader skill, a 250% leader skill, this 120%, so that 200% will hit this attack here. This 21,000 will get increased by 200% times 2, which is 400%. And then after that is when this 120% attack kicks in. So that's why percentage-based passive skill are so much better than flat damage-based passive skills, in case you were wondering. All right, so that's one reason why he's automatically off rip better. He also has a chance to give himself minimum 3 ki up to 9. Or here's why he's on the A tier, which I'm gonna say A tier for average. All right, A tiers for average is his super attack is so inconsistent. Like, they were actually trolling when they made this character. They were trolling, bro. Like, they were just playing around, having fun. Just like all of these romantic comedy mangas above my head are playing around, having fun. Look at them. Why? Like, is this what... does it think I like all of these mangas? Like, what is this? This is so weird. Anyway, super attacks. So 12 to 17 ki. If you get 12 to 17 ki, your super attack is garbage. I'll say that again. If you get 12 to 17 ki, your super attack sucks, because you're gonna lower your own attack, or you're gonna lower your own attack and defense, which is so dumb. Like, who thought of this? Who thought this was funny? You know what I mean? Like, who thought this was cute? It's so dumb. Now, if you get the 18 ki, which, listen, it's a good chance because they're raising their own ki, so that's a good thing. But if you're able to get the 18 ki, then there's a 30% chance that your super attack is going to, well, there's a 70% chance that your super attack is going to raise your defense by 30%. So that's not bad, because this guy doesn't have any defense, right? Like, even if we look at his LR stats, his defense is 15,481, right? So that's just base. That's all you're going to get, plus the leader skill jacking it up. But the 30% defense raise is nice. It'll let him tank a little bit. But what you really want is that 30% chance for Super Saiyan 3 to pop up when he does his 18 ki super. So you're pretty much rolling the dice when he does his 18 ki super attack. You're either gonna have a 30% chance of only raising your defense by 30%, or you're gonna have or 70% chance, or you're gonna have a 30% chance of raising your attack and defense by 50%. That's the super attack you want, because you're raising your defense, you're raising your attack 50% both. You're gonna hit insanely hard. And remember, he's already getting 120. You're adding the 50, so his attack is gonna be pretty darn good. And then his defense will be not bad either, so he'll actually be able to tank hits. His links are okay for where he's on. You know, the teams he's on: Hybrid Saiyans, Youth, you know, stuff like that. He's also on World Tournament, Majin Buu Saga, and Joint Forces. But he's got Shocking Speed. He's got Prodigies, which is good. The Innocence, some people have. Shine on the Limit, not bad. Budding Warrior, kind of troll. Z Fighters, and then legendary power. So yeah, he's definitely a 4 average. We're gonna add Majin Vegeta here, above average. Majin Vegeta is above average. Above average. Wow, I was adding B's to the word for some reason. And the main reason that he's on AA tier is both of his super attacks are super useful. All right, his 12 key super attack he's very rare. He's one of the only characters that does Mega Colossal on his 12 and Colossal on his 18 key, but there's a reason for that. So on his 12 key, it's Mega Colossal damage, and he's also got a 20% chance, 20% chance to stun enemies. And then on his 18 key, it's an AoE attack that has a 20% chance to stun, which is big. And that does Colossal, right? But it's an AoE, it hits everybody. So that's super, super interesting. His passive skill also, as you can see, is just better than Goten and Trunks. 150% when performing a super attack, as opposed to 120. So 100 attack is 150% when performing a super attack. So that's just better. It's just very good. And then his link skills are fantastic, right? Super Saiyan, which, in case you guys don't know, 10% attack, Over in a Flash, 3 key, Shattering the Limit, 2 key. Saiyan Warrior Race is pretty blast, only 700 attack. Saiyan Pride, 15%, which a lot of Vegetas are going to have. Royal Lineage, 1 key, which a lot of Trunks and Vegetas are going to have. And then that legendary power. So he's got pretty darn good links. And then his categories are good too. Resurrected Warriors, Majin Buu Saga, Pure Saiyans, Vegeta's Family, Worthy Rivals, Super Saiyan 2, and Last Resort. The thing that holds this man back is he's got 0 defense. Like, he's got 15,000 defense right here, 15,163. But in terms of defense, like just taking hits, he can't take a hit to save his life. Trust me, do not rely on this man to be your defensive, unit, because you won't die. You're gonna have a horrible death, so don't do it. All right, do not do it, for goodness sake. But yeah, so that is the Majin Vegeta. Definitely not as bad as this Goten or Trunks. So I am putting him a tier above, at above average. Okay, above average. Yes. Yeah. I'm throwing him on above average. Yep. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Why am I putting him on the same tier as Majin Vegeta? Above average. And when I say above average, I'm talking about as an overall, your hype level for getting this unit, in terms of gameplay, not in terms of you love this character, because I love Super Saiyan 3. Like, Super Saiyan 3 is one of my favorite forms. I love this Dragon Fist attack, the Golden Dragon Fist, right? Phenomenal. I love this pose. This is one of the greatest LR arts in the game, in my opinion. Like, how did it get smaller? What? How did it get smaller? Come on, man. What are you doing? Anyway, so stupid. In my opinion, one of the best LR arts in the entire game. It just looks phenomenal. So, why is this man in above average? Let's take a look at his super attacks. So first off, I'm just making sure it's 20%. Yeah, it is 20%. His 12 key has a 20% chance to crit. And that's going to do colossal damage, right? 20% chance to crit, 12 key. This is normal. Colossal damage is usually associated with 12 key. Like I said, the Majin Vegeta is very weird that it's the 18 key one. Mega colossal damage on his 18 key greatly lowers defense. This dude is pretty awesome, but has a big drawback. And that's why he's an above average. Let me explain why. Certain Triumph is passive. He gives himself 120% defense at the start of turn. And if you're doing an ultra super attack, then you're gaining 180% attack, but you're lowering your defense by 70%. Now, what this actually does is it gets kicked in differently, because in case you guys don't know, anytime you get a attack boost when you're performing your super attack, it's not added on right here. It's calculated separately. So what ends up happening is it's not 120 or 120 minus 70, which would leave him with 50, right? it gets calculated second. So he's only left with 30%. 30% of his total defense. All right. So let's just say his defense in his rotation, 100,000, 100K. Once you ultra super attack, you're down to 30,000, which is kind of scary. That means a gentle breeze can kill you at that point. Like, not much is needed to kill you. So that's worrying. Also, the fact that if you're not getting your 18 key super attack, you got no attack bonus at all. 0% attack. Okay? I talked about a drawback. This is it. He is pretty good defensively if you're sacrificing attack. But if you want to get that ultra super attack, or if you just have no choice because you're getting great links and you got a support unit that's giving you key and all that stuff, and the orbs are lined up in the right way, so you're forced to ultra super attack, you're going down to 30% defense, and you're gonna like it. But he does insane amounts of damage because 180% attack. I think at the point that he came out in the game, he was the hardest hitter in the game, so he was up there, right? Link skills, Super Saiyan, like I said before, great attack link. Experienced fighters, then another 10% attack link. Kamehameha, it's a baby legendary power, right? This one's 2,500 attack when super attack is launched. This one's 5,000. Over to Flash for key, 3 key. Limit breaking form, another 2,000 attack when super attack is launched. And then lastly, Shattering the Limit for 2 key. So not terrible links. He's on SS3, Pure Saiyan's full power movie heroes. Goku's family, Kamehameha, Last Resort. So he's at a bunch of good categories. I think I'm going to put LR Gohan. Do I want to put him here or here? This is the question. This is where see, let's put him here for now, but see, okay, I think we will keep him on above average. So the reason why we're keeping him on above average is a few different things. First off, here's what he does good. Damage. He does damage insanely well. He does damage. I'll say it again. He does damage. I'll say it one last time. He does damage. 18% attack for every key sphere obtained, and 1 key. So he's effectively, for every intelligence orb, he's getting 2 key, right? Because if you're intelligence and you grab an intelligence orb, you're going to get 2 key instead of just 1. Same thing with strength. If you're strength, you grab a strength orb, you're going to get 2 key instead of 1. For him, any orb he gets, strength, physical, AGL, tech, he treats it like an intelligence orb. He gets 2 key for it. And then intelligence orbs, he gets 3 keys for. He gets 3 key for. Rainbow, same thing, 2 key. So the fact that he could just go wherever he wants, in terms of orbs, and not have to focus on intelligence is phenomenal. And getting 18 key for every orb that you get, if you're putting, whoops, there's a little calculator for you. If you're putting him alongside an orb changer and you're grabbing like 5 orbs, 90% attack, right? If you're grabbing a few more, 7 orbs, 126% attack, right? Let's just say you get like a real nice, you're getting like 10 orbs, 180% attack. And not to mention, you're completely filling out your key ring, I guess they call it, key meter. I forgot what JP calls it, key meter, I think. It's insane. So he does a lot of damage. Now, and not to mention, like I said, his 18 key greatly raises attack for 1 turn. So now he's adding another 50% on top. And what did I talk about before? That 50 is added after. So it ain't just, 120 plus 50. No. It's more like 200%, 240, 250, etc. It goes insane. So he does a lot of damage. Okay links, pretty good. Prepared for battle, good, 2 key. Fierce battle, great, 15%. Shocking speed, 2 key, that's good. Legendary power, we talked about that. Kamehameha, yep, that's in there. Gaze of respect, kind of mid, 2 key. I mean, that's really just Piccolos and Gohans. Super Saiyan, good, 10%. He's on 15 million categories. Look, we counted 15 million categories. Hybrid Saiyans, full power, Goku's family, youth, Android Cell Saga, Kamehameha, Bond, Master and Disciple, Super Saiyan 2, Explosion of Anger. What are we missing from these passives? What are we missing from the super attacks? What are we missing from the links? Anybody in the class have an answer? Starts with the letter D, ends with the letter E, has an F in the middle somewhere. Kind of not in the middle, but defense. There we go. Defense. That is ding 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 ding. There's the winner. Defense. They don't just cheer it at a basketball game and hold up the letter D and then hold up a fence, right? A picture of a fence. There we go. Defense. 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 That's what the Gohan needs. He's got no defense. And so he gets hit really, really, really hard. This dude takes a lot of damage. I mean, his defense is at 13,800, which by the way is kind of low for an LR. So he's all about just nuking someone and getting him out of the way as fast as possible. So because of that, we got to keep him in that above average. I would really love to put him in solid because he matches up well with so many units. But we gotta keep him in that above average. We gotta keep him in that above average. Sorry, my Gohan. So who's going into solid? Actually, a lot of units I think are gonna go into solid. A lot of units are gonna go into solid. More than you guys probably think. So first, Physical Bardock going into solid. Physical Bardock going into solid. He's a jack of all trades, but unfortunately that means he's a master of none. So Dazzling Life Force Bardock. He raises his attack by 50% when he has his 12 key, causes Colossal, right? His 18 key Mega Colossal seals the super attack. So that's pretty good. It's not bad. He's got some good use, some utility, as they say. He can do more than just attack and defend and stuff like that. His passive skill, 70% attack and defense, pretty good. An additional 30% when performing an ultra super attack. Okay, that's good. So that's 100. Actually, that's more. I'm sorry because it's calculated differently. Yeah, there it is. So it's actually 121%. That's good. When he's facing only one enemy, he's going to give himself 4 ki. So he's going to be able to super attack quite a bit. When he's facing 2 or more enemies, he's going to gain an additional 60% defense. There it goes. There it goes. We got to guess. What? No. Don't click on anything, for God's sakes. Whoa. 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 God's sakes. But this Team Bardock is not a good team. All right. It's okay. It's kind of like the Ginyu Force. It's passable. If you are free to play, if you're a new player, if you're below the rank 200, farm the Ginyu Force, farm Team Bardock. Because you can clear a bunch of Dokkan events. If not all the Dokkan events, you might have to use some items and stuff like that. But if you want to actually do like the really challenging content, then you're not going to be able to use this team or the Ginyu Force team. Like it's just not going to be possible. So just keep that in mind. But for starter accounts, for people that don't have a lot of units, they don't have a lot of strong teams, definitely farm out Team Bardock, definitely farm out Ginyu Force. Both of them. Both of them. All right. But anyway. So why do I put this guy low? We could take a look at his categories. Really, we're only looking at 2. Because like I said, Team Bardock, you're probably not going to use. Low class warriors, it's still not good. Like, low class warriors still isn't good. We have, all right, we got the Bardock, the new AGL Bardock. He's great. We got this Tech Raditz. He's fantastic. I already mentioned the Team Bardock characters. We're not really looking at them, right? And then who else? Intelligence Kid Goku. Who's he gonna link with on this team? This weird posing Goku. Like, this category is not good. It's not good. I don't want to hear anybody saying, "Oh, low class warriors, low key looking good." No, it's not. It ain't. So this is dead. Low class warriors. Team Bardock is dead. Pure Saiyan's Goku's family. Those are two phenomenal categories. That one I'm not gonna lie with you on that. All right, phenomenal categories. I can't say anything. Those are great categories. Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Team Bardock, Saiyan Pride, Prepare for Battle, Shadow on the Limit, Legendary Power. So this guy is just solid. I'm gonna bring back down LR Physical Cell. And he's going into solid. Here's the problem with LR Cell. Well, first let's talk about what he does well. AoE, super attack, 12 key. That's great. Recovers 10% HP. His 18 key raises attack 30%. Causes mega colossal damage to enemy. Okay. Not bad, right? Not terrible. His passive skill, attack and defense 90%. And if he's facing additional enemies, he's going to gain 1 key and 10% attack per existing enemy. So this guy's really good on Super Battle Road. But that is the main problem with this LR Cell, is he's only... I don't want to say he's only, but he's best suited for World Tournament and Super Battle Road, where he's facing multiple enemies. And then the raising of attack by 30% doesn't do an insane amount. So he really can't get his attack high. Like, it just kind of sits around 1 million, maybe 2 if you can get a good support unit on the rotation and stuff like that, but he's just not going crazy with his attack. And then his defense sits at 90%, which is not bad. It's pretty good, especially for an LR. You know, his defense is 13,000, so he does need the help. But his attack is solid, 20,000. He's got plenty of HP, which is good, and he's recovering health. So that's also nice. Here's another reason. And cells in general just have wonky links, dude. I don't know what they're thinking when they make a lot of these cells, but like, some of them are good, right? Legendary Power, Fierce Battle. All right, we're looking good. Shocking Speed. Okay, we're looking good. Big Bad Bosses. I love it. Even Messenger from the Future. I mean, 500 attack, but a lot of units have that, especially future units. Okay, I'll take that. Gentleman, dog? Gentleman? Ultimate Life Form? Like, let's take a look at who's got Ultimate Life Form. Cells. Okay. Cells. Okay, and that's about it, right? That's not many cells at all. That's not many cells at all. And then what's the other one? Gentleman. First off, Goku Ginyu is a gentleman? Since when? Since when was Goku Ginyu a gentleman? Nova Shenron was, and then some of these other cats, I guess you can say were, but like, would you say Goku? And then like Zamasu a gentleman? I don't think he is. He's kind of a D-bag. He's kind of a jerk. Just because he sips tea, he prepares tea. Like, that's come on, silly, dumb Link, get out of the game. Change to something else, for goodness sake. So that really holds him back. Those two Links are pretty trash. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but the fact that he recovers HP is nice. And yeah, and his categories aren't terrible for a cell unit, right? They're not terrible. Okay, so he's gonna be just in solid. LR Beerus. LR Beerus is gonna be just solid. LR Beerus is just gonna be solid. So his 12 key gives him 7% HP. That's good. His 18 key gives him 12% HP. So You can get some health back. That's not bad, right? It's not terrible. His passive skill is 80% attack, just straight up. This is one small thing that hurts him. One small thing before the main thing that hurts him. The small thing is he has no defense until he actually gets hit, which is kind of sad, because if you're an SBR and you're going to get hit first before you get defense, you're going to take so much damage. If you're an extreme SBR and you take a super attack to start off and you got 0 defense, bruh, game over, man. Game over. As you can see, his defense is higher than most at 15,850. At the rainbow level, by the way, max normal, it's going to be 11,250. But come on, like, that's actually going to be insane. It's actually going to be insane. So that's a problem. Once he gets the defense bonus on top of his already high defense, that's good. It's not bad. And then his attack boost is actually calculated separately. So instead of 80% plus 60, it actually goes all the way up to 188%. And that's for 5 turns, which is pretty nice. And it can be activated at any time, you know, during the 5 turns. So it just refreshes, which is a good thing. Link skill. Let's talk about his category. Let's keep talking about the good. You know, let's not get to the bad yet. Talk about the good. Categories. Realm of Gods, one of the most busted categories in the game. Movie bosses, pretty good. Join Forces, one of the most busted in the game. Siblings Bond, one of the most busted in the game. Bond and Master and Disciple, pretty darn good. All right, let's talk about his link skills. Let's talk about his link skills. His link skills are not good. They're really not good. Like, they're just not. They are meant to link up with other Beeruses. That's really what it is. If you have him next to a Beerus, then that's great. He can link up with a lot of people. And to prove that point, I'm going to show you this website here. So this is web-api.eu. In case you guys do not have this bookmarked, make sure you bookmark this website. It's fantastic. You type in the unit that you want up here. I just put beer, and you pick the unit, and then it shows you all their links, and it shows you who shares those links. You can even filter it by type, class, category, and links. But we're not even going to filter by category or anything like that. No, we're just going to see who shares the most links with them. So, who shares the most links? Number 1, the TUR form of Strength LR Beerus. 6 of his 7 links. Obviously, legendary power, this TUR is not going to have because he's not a legendary. But everything else, yes. Fierce Battle, 15% attack. Godly Power, 15% attack. Connoisseur, they're both going to recover 5% HP to make it 10. Shocking Speed, 2 key. Prodigies, 10% attack. Innocence, 10% attack. That's great. This Tech Beerus, Extreme Z Awakened. This Strength Beerus, Extreme Z Awakened. Here's the main problem. You would have to really wail out and get a TUR version of this Strength Beerus, or you would really only be using this Beerus. And the reason why is this: if we go to Realm of Gods, they're still there, right? Makes sense. Okay, we go to movie bosses, they're all there. We go to Join Forces, okay, they fall off. Siblings Bond, they're still there. And Bond and Master and Disciple, they're still there. But what does this Strength Beerus do when he is Extreme Z Awakened? He is a worthy rivals support. So we're not going to bring any of these units, right? This AGL Beerus, no. This Intelligence Beerus, no. This Physical Champa, no. He's the Universe 6 support. So it's like, again, you ain't bringing Beerus onto a Universe 6 team. That makes no sense. Like, maybe you'll throw him, never, because he's this, again, he's a support for Universe 6. He's going to do nothing else for, He'll do nothing for Realm of Gods, Siblings Bond, or Bond of Master Disciple. So you ain't pairing him next to that. And so then we got to go even further down to LR Goten and Trunks. You'll put them on what? Joint Forces? That's kind of weird, right? Links are not bad. 2 key there, 20% there, attack, 5,000 super attack. That's not terrible, but like you're gonna run Beerus and Whis and Goten and Trunks on the same team? That's really wonky. You want to throw Manoka on there? On Realm of Gods? I don't think so. Then the rest are SSRs, and then the rest are like just three joints, right? Like, so links are just what hold him back by far. Anyway, I've gone too long on LR Beerus. You guys get the point. He's solid. I'm actually looking at this Trunks as just being solid. Trunks and Mai. Let's go over why I think that. He's just an S. He's just too team dependent. He's too restricted. So why is that? He's on Future Sagas. He's on Time Travelers. He's on Joint Forces. He's on Revenge. All right. He's a Time Traveler lead. We haven't talked about lead too much. We won't talk about his. His 12 key, medium chance to stun the enemy. That's what, 30%? 30%. Very good. That's solid. 30% chance to stun the enemy on the 12 key. That's great. 50% on the 18 key. That's even better. That's even better. He gives himself 70% attack. Pretty good. Pretty good. If he's facing a Future Saga enemy, he's going to give himself 6 key and 50% chance to dodge. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. Future Saga, I mean, are there a ton of enemies on the Future Saga? You're going to be facing like Future Trunks, Future Gohans, Goku Blacks, Vegito Blues, you know, Zamasus, and that's about it, right? You got some Mai's in there and stuff like that, but realistically, this is really who you're facing, right? 17 and 18 from the future specifically. That's about it. Not a huge list. Not a huge list. So that's where you'll get your 6 key and 50% chance to dodge. You're not going to see this a lot of the time because there's just not a lot of Future Saga enemies. But here's where he is restricted. He gains 10% attack and defense, up to 70, per Time Traveler category ally on the team. Now, if you throw him on his Future Saga or Time Traveler's team, pretty good. Especially Time Travelers, right? Because he's going to gain his full buff. He'll gain his full buff. That's pretty solid. You know, I don't see anything wrong with that, to be quite honest. I don't see anything wrong with that. But the problem is, there are certain future units that aren't Time Travelers. And what happens if you put them on Revenge or Joint Forces? If we take a look at Joint Forces, actually, you know what? We're not even going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to pull up the Trunks and Mai, because we can actually find out here. And we look at Joint Forces. And you know what? Let's look at Revenge. So we have the Mai. Okay, that's one Time Traveler. That's good. We have the LR Goku Black, and she's on Revenge. Yeah, she's on Revenge. So let's go one at a time, actually. Let's go Revenge first. Why not? Let's go Revenge first. So we have the Mai that we'll put on the Revenge category. That's a Time Traveler. That's cool. She's Time Travelers. Yep, boom. Cool. Nice. We have this Future Trunks. I guess you'll bring him along, free to play. By the way, why not? Okay, that could make it. This Broly, nah. This Intelligence Trunks, yeah, you could. That's good. Yeah. He got a great Extreme Z Awakening over on JP. Can't wait until we get it on Global. That's good. This Trunks, yeah, Time Traveler. That's good. So that's what, 1, 2. Maybe 3 that you're gonna bring. And then on that same revenge category, would you bring Intelligence Cell? No, not really. So you wouldn't get his benefit. You wouldn't be able to bring him if you're bringing him. So they count kind of the same, right? So they kind of wash each other out. Would you bring this Bardock? You might. You might. Right? Would you bring this Bardock? You might. You might bring that revenge category unit. Would you bring them all on the same team? Maybe. Might not be the most optimal, but like, you see my point. We're getting to like 3, if we're really stretching it, maybe 4 units on here that are sharing links with them. And at this point, we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel with 2 links, like Prepare for Battle and Fierce Battle. It's okay. So he's kind of limited. Like, you can kind of make revenge work, but then you have to make sure you're bringing a lot of those time traveler units onto the team, and it kind of invalidates making a revenge team. You might as well make just a time travelers team at that point, and you definitely can't bring him on join forces. So it kind of limits the viable teams he can be on, which is really just these 2, time travelers and Future Saga, if you want him to actually do damage. If not, if you want to just bring him along to one of these other teams, then he's just gonna be nerfed. And I really don't like that. I don't like an LR. They made an LR dependent on who you bring as his main passive skill. That's what's frustrating to me about this Trunks and Mai. I don't know, maybe I'm undervaluing them a little bit, and I could possibly be. He could deserve to be on the SS. But I kind of just see him on average as useful as these other 3. Maybe if you like build the team completely around him, he might be but I mean, you can say the same thing about Beerus. If you build a team around him, he's going to be fantastic. If you put Physical Cell in his best position, then he's going to shine. You know, same thing with Bardock. So yeah, I think I will keep him in solid tier. This Trunks, I think I would actually put this Trunks over the Trunks and Mai. I think I would actually do that. Why am I rating him so highly? Because I used to consider this guy one of the worst LRs in the game. I just didn't really value him at all. I thought he was pretty trash. But as more units have come out, they have like really shined a light on him. And now there's just so many units to make him look really, really good. And he has an easy time doing well. For 2 reasons. Number 1, he's got a 50% chance to crit. Not a 50% chance to stun, which can be negated in certain events. Not a 50% chance to steal, which seal super attacks, which could be completely useless in certain events. He's just got a straight up 50% chance to crit. Get a critical hit. That's fantastic. On top of that, he gives himself 120% attack. Not when he super attacks, just straight up. So that's good. That's a high number. 120% attack. I love that. So even if he's not super attacking, he's still hitting normal. And I also like that the crit is not dependent on his super attack. It's just in his passive. 50% chance, no matter what. If it's a normal attack, if it's a 12 key, if it's an 18 key, 50% chance. I love that. Here's the reason why I rate him very highly. Is his super attack. 12 key, 18 key, doesn't matter. 30% defense, 3 turns. That stacks. So if you're doing 3 super attacks, which, let's be honest, you probably do more, you can stack that defense pretty well. His defense at the rainbow level ain't terrible. 14,256. So that defense can stack pretty quick, because if you super attack twice, and remember, he gets free additional because he's physical. He gets 2 super attacks off, boom, you're at 60% defense. Next turn, you get another super attack off, 90%. Last turn, you get 2 more off, 150% defense. And then you're only going to lose the first turn. So you can keep that rolling defense going, right? So to me, that's super good. And on top of that, he's on a ton of categories, right? More than the Trunks and Mai. Hybrid Saiyans, Super Saiyans, Future Saga, Android Cell Saga, Time Travelers, Vegeta's Family, Bond of Master and Disciple. And then his links are pretty solid. Prepare for Battle, 2 key, good. Shatter the Limit, 2 key, good. Shocking Speed, 2 key. Legendary Power. Super Saiyan, 10% attack. Cold Judgment. Oh, by the way, we get a 20% defensive link. Royal Lineage, another key link. So it's like they just kind of covered him on all bases. Oh, he has a super attack, so he doesn't have his defense. Well, if he's got that 20% link, then he's got 20% defense. He's good. You know, oh, he needs key. Well, we're going to give him, 1, 2, 3, 4 different key links so he can get those 18 key super attacks off and get mega colossal damage and constantly get those 30% defense bonuses. Stacking, packing, attracting, you know? So I just really look at this LR nowadays favorably because he's just gotten so much better. So much better. And if we take a look at his links, which let's go right here. Boom. No one here. Okay. His 2 best linking partners. All right, whatever. But this is a lot of TURs that have at least 4 links with them. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. Some of the ones that you should be really paying attention to are obviously LR Gohan. Pretty good. Super Saiyan, Shocking Speed, Prepare for Battle. So that's 10% attack, 4 key, 5,000 super attack. Majin Vegeta, 3 key, 10% attack, 5,000 super attack. This free-to-play Vegito, 10% attack, 4 key. But here's a few that you may be missing. This man here, the EZA version of him, we're talking about 5 key, 10% attack, plus he's going to be buffing them by what, 30% attack and defense? That's great. This Vegeta here, EZA, again, great links shared. This Vegeta, which is he buffs him as well. Actually, I believe this dude does 2 key, 30% attack and defense. Or is it 35? And then this dude does like 30%, but no key. And then, of course, this strength Vegeta as well does a fantastic job. But it's like we got a lot of choices here. We got this free-to-play unit. We have this Super Saiyan 3 boy. So if you want to get some more defense here, you can. That 20% defense. Pretty solid. There we go. A lot of units you can use. And then there's a ton that share 3 links. Like, absolutely insane. So, yeah, LR Godku. Thank you, Island of T. I was legit drawing a blank. Like, yo, who is this art, bro? But yeah, there you go. So I think I will keep Physical Trunks in the SS tier, the super solid tier. Who else is in the super solid tier? The boy Bojack. Oh no, not B. Boy Bojack. I think a lot of people like don't realize how good Bojack really is. Like, a lot of people sleep on this Bojack, bro. And I understand it because he's got 2 useless links. Like, he really does have 2 useless links. But, like, to me, the rest of the links are solid. The rest of the links are good. Big Bad Bosses. Thirst for Power, 15% attack. Revival, 2 key. Shadow the Limit, 2 key. Legendary Power. Like, these are pretty good links. And then his passive, attack and defense, 80%. Solid. Plus an additional 70% if you're at full HP. And then as you start losing HP, you'll lose the attack, but you'll gain defense up to 70%. That part I love. And let's take a look at the formula right here. So 70% once his HP is 100%. So if he's at 60%, his attack will be 42%. All right. His defense works the opposite way. If he's at 68% HP, he's gaining a 28% defense boost on his 70% or his 80% defense already, all the way down to like 10% or something like that. His 12 key, nothing crazy, right? It's not crazy. Colossal damage greatly lowers defense 50%. Not a big deal. His 18 key though, his 18 key, because remember, he's getting at least 6 key from the leader skills. He's gaining another, if you have revival and shattering limit, that's another 4 key. So now we're at 10 key, right? We're at 10 key. So then we really just need what, 12 key or 10 key. We need 8 key to be able to get him to his 18 key super attack. It's not crazy. It's not insane if we can achieve that, especially if we have characters on both sides that are going to give him that, or support units, or whatever the case is, right? Then it'll be even less. But here's where the 18 key, the 18 key is the reason why I put him in the SS. Super solid. 18 key super attack causes mega colossal damage, raises extreme class allies attack by 40% for 1 turn. Extreme class allies, because you're only going to put them on categories that have extreme allies, like that's it. 40% attack. Woo, woo. That's sexy. That's pretty. That's nice. So this dude is very strong. He's on some good categories too. Resurrected Warriors, Movie Bosses, Full Power, Time Travelers, Joined Forces, Terrifying Conquerors. Very good categories. His stats are nice. 15,000, 294 defense, almost 20,000 attack, close to 23,000 HP. Like, he's just very, very solid. Very solid. In fact, he's super solid. So that's why I have him there. So 4 links, boom, here. 3 links here, 2 links here, which is pretty unfortunate. But you can, like I said, you can throw some good support units. So if we're taking a look at like, let's go to Resurrected Warriors, right? Okay, you could throw them next to, not this LR, sorry, don't want you. You can throw him next to this intelligence boy, and he's gonna give 3 key plus 2 key, so you're gonna be sharing 5 key, right? And then he's gonna boost you up 30% attack and 30% attack, and then 50% defense, I believe, plus another 15% attack. So that's actually gonna be fairly solid. You know, you can put him next to this dude here to get a bunch of attack boost. You can also go up here, and if you're a baller like that, you can throw him next to his TUR, who's also pretty good in his own right. So yeah, like, and again, this is just on Resurrected Warriors. You can throw him on like Terrifying Conquerors. You can put him next to the LR Baby. Boom, 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 which is always good. You can throw this man on rotation. Give him 3 key, 40% attack. Right? Not terrible. You can have, I don't think this man actually gives him anything unless if there's 2 or more enemies. 2 key attack and defense 50% because he's not on transformation boost. I don't, no, he's not, right? No, he's not. So a little more limited, but he still does quite a lot in my opinion. Who else is on super solid? The LR Goku Black and Zamasu, or Zamasu as some people say, as a lot of people say. The reason why I think I had him higher up, but I'm gonna lower him just a smidge smidge, just a smidgy smidge. We're gonna lower him just a smidgy smidge. But this dude does it all. Like, this guy is really incredible. 12 key super attack raises defense by 30% for 3 turns. 18 key raises defense by 30% for 6 turns. So that's fantastic. Simply a better version of physical Trunks. Attack 30% with each attack received, so he goes up to 120. So he has to scale. He's got to scale. He's got to get hit a few times to scale. He also recovers 15% HP at the start of turn. So you're gaining back health 15%. You're stacking up your defense. If you're doing 18 keys, that's 30% for a full 6 turns, and that's stacking as well. So if you super attack twice, you're at 60. You super attack the next time, you're at 90. You super attack the third time, you're at $120. You super attack 2 more times on turn 4, you're at 150. You super attack again at 180, etc., etc. You keep on getting, you know, it's insane. So he stacks his defense, he stacks his attack, he's gaining back HP. His links are phenomenal for this type of unit if you want to link him next to Goku Blacks and Zamasu's. Fear and Faith, 2 key. Nightmare, 10% attack. Prepared for Battle, 2 key. Dismal Future, 1 key. Big Bad Bosses, 25% attack and defense when HP is 80% or below. Fierce Battle, 15%. Legendary Power, 5,000 attack. His categories are great. Joined Forces, Time Travelers, Future Saga, Patara, Realm of Gods. Like, this guy's just a great all-around unit. Great all-around unit. The main drawback is he's weak turn 1. He is. He's only got a 30% attack boost and he's got no defense. You have to be able to super attack to get that defense. His stats are phenomenal though. Like 14,100 defense. Okay, kind of middle of the road for LRs. 18,000 HP. Not insane, but look at that attack, brother. 22.5. 22,545. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. But like I said, that's the big reason that kind of doesn't keep him out of being even higher up, is the fact that he has to stack everything. Stack attack and stack defense. But he just does it all. He's phenomenal. He's great. So I'm going to put him in super solid. Super solid, super solid, super solid. We're going to add the baby down to super solid. And let's talk about quickly why I'm doing that. Artificial life forms lead. We still don't have a proper artificial life forms leader, which is one small reason that holds him back. His 12 key lowers attack. His 18 key lowers attack and defense. I'm not a huge fan of lowering defense. Even lowering attack is only useful in against certain bosses. But his passive is great. Key +3 attack and defense 100%. If this man is facing pure Saiyans, then he's going to give himself an additional 50% attack and 3 key. And if he's facing hybrid Saiyans, he's going to give himself an additional 3% and 3 key and 50% attack. And then obviously he's got the whole giant ape mechanic when you drop below 40% HP. Though it's only a 50% chance, which is kind of strange. I don't know why it doesn't just automatically trigger. The 2 reasons why I'm only putting him in the super solid list and not the Super Saiyan solid list is, number 1, his links. Metamorphosis, kind of wonky. GT, you're not really going to be throwing him on with GT units, right? Hatred of Saiyans is a dead link. Dead. As dead as Bleach Brave Soul's old guild quest. So it really just leaves you with Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, Shadow the Limit, and Legendary Power. So that kind of sucks. Also, if he's facing pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans, he's strong. If he's not, you're just relying on 3 key and attack, 100% attack and defense. Like, that's it. If you're facing pretty much like any extreme villain, Friezas, Coolers, Cells, Goku Blacks, Zamasu's, you know, whatever. Like, the majority of extreme, you know, villains in this game, minus Broly, and then maybe like some Vegetas that you can kind of find here or there, you ain't getting, you're not getting those passives to kick in. So that's kind of sad. And that's why I don't rate him higher. I believe I did used to have him higher up, but we're going to lower him for this. So we're keeping him in the super solid. He's got a ton of categories, which is good, but that's where we're going to leave him. That's where we're leaving him. Next, who's on super solid? I would say the next person on super solid is this LR Frieza. So the reason why this Frieza is super solid and not higher is he is and he feels like an old unit. His passive is just kind of weird and wonky. So his 12 key sacrifices 8% of his HP. His 18 key greatly raises his attack, so that's 50% raise on his attack. So here's his passive skill. Give himself 80% attack and defense. If you drop below 90% health, you're going to be 3 key, 90% attack and defense, or 90% attack, 80% defense. If you drop below 70% health, you're going to be 3, 4, 5 key and 110% attack. If you drop below 50% health, then 20, 40, 50, 130% attack, and then 2, 4, 5, 7 key. And then last but not least, if you're below 30% HP or less, you're going to perform a critical hit, which is only once, I believe, which is strange. And then you're going to gain another 2 key, so you'll be at 9 key, and then you'll be at 150% attack. So we clowned about Intelligence LR Cell having to hit 30% for his transformation, but that's just once, and you get all your health back, and you come back even stronger. This dude, you have to be at your strongest. You have to maintain yourself below 30% HP, which is pretty ridiculous, because any game mode that can bring your health down to 30% HP has the ability to one-shot you if you're there, right? If you're on Legendary Goku event, if you're on Infinite Dragon Ball History, if you're on Super Battle Road, anything that could bring you down that low to 30% HP, you can easily get one shot in the next rotation. So staying at that point is not advised. He is still strong, because you'll probably be above 50%, you'll probably be above 70 for the most part, but he'll still be like 90%, 110% attack, which is solid. But he's just never going to be at his max really for any long period of time. His links are great though. Universe's most malevolent, strongest clan in space, big bad bosses, Omen and Flash, fierce battle, legendary power, prodigies. You can kind of expect that from Frieza and Cooler units. They just have good links. And then he's on a ton of categories, good categories: Last Resort, Terrifying Conquerors, Wicked Bloodline, Transformation Boost, Full Power, Planetamic Saga, Diabolical Villains, the new joint. His stats are also extremely high, almost 20,000 HP, almost 22,000 attack, a little over 14,000 defense. Like, he's all around good, but this passive is just so wonky. He's just super solid. Hence why he's in super solid. GT Trio as super solid. I was thinking of putting them here. I was thinking of it, but I can't do it because I don't think they're on the same category as some of the other units, and we'll get to that in a second, right? So, GT Trio, Dragon Ball Seekers, 12 key raises defense by 33% for a turn, not bad. 18 key raises defense by 33% for 3 turns. That's very good. I like that. Attack and defense 77% when performing a super attack. Kind of rough that they don't have anything if they're just attacking normally. That's what does bring them into the SS tier, the super solid tier, not the Super Saiyan solid tier. Is that if they're not attacking, they have no stats, like no passive. Their passive is effectively dead, which sucks. Depending on how many Dragon Ball Seekers they have on their team, they're going to gain 1 key, which is good. So if you're on a full team of Dragon Ball Seekers, you're gaining 7 key or whatever. If you're counting yourself, I'm not sure if it actually does. So it's either 6 or 7 key. So you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself getting a super attack. But if you get unlucky, or if you have him on Joint Forces where there's not a lot of Dragon Ball Seekers category units on there, then you're not guaranteeing yourself a super attack, and you'll have no passive. But if you're able to do a 12 key super attack, you'll at least raise your defense for that 1 turn. Doesn't help you if you get attacked before, but it does help you a little bit if you get attacked after. He's really powerful when he's doing his 12 key. When he's doing his 12, or his 18 key, I should say. If he's doing his 18 key constantly, you're stacking that 33% defense, constantly, you're gaining 77% attack on top of your 77% attack, right? So you're doing a lot of damage. Your defense is still 77, but then you're stacking that 33%. That's good. That's good. That's good. 18 key is the way to go on this guy. That is what holds him back and leaves him on this S, just the super solid tier, because he's got restrictions. Anybody that's got restrictions, I gotta hold him back just a little bit. Okay, so rival duo, Saiyan lineage, Saiyan warrior race, prepare for battle, GT, shadow limit, legendary power. First off, these guys can both go in there. Here we go. So essentially, by the way, this is also them, right? That's also them, and we're just gonna put them right next to each other. That's just their fusions. I don't know why it actually has the Patara and the fusion dance fusions, but you guys get the picture. It's the same units. Okay, so Goku, Vegeta, same exact character. They're essentially the same unit until they transform. One's a Patara lead, one's a fusion lead. Raises attack for 1 turn, 30%. Raises attack for 1 turn, 30%. Attack and defense, 120% at the start of turn. 120% at the start of turn. 3 key when they're grabbing a rainbow orb. Oh, what do you look at that? 3 key when they're grabbing a rainbow orb. Perform Patara fusion when below 50%, starting from the 6th turn of battle. Perform fusion dance, 50%, 6th turn of battle. So they're literally the same character. The main difference is, I'm just looking at the links here. So legendary power, fierce battle, prepare for battle. Same thing on the bottom. Here's where they start to differ. All right. So he's going to have Super Saiyan and Experience Battle. Super Saiyan, Experience Battle. He's going to have Kamehameha, the Gogeta, and Golden Warrior. He's going to have Kamehameha and Saiyan Lineage. Okay, so Saiyan Lineage and Golden Warrior is the only difference between them. I mean, technically they're golden, right? So it's kind of weird that that is that and that. Anyway, so literally only one key link, one link separates them. Saiyan Lineage, one link. Golden Warrior, one key, minus 2000 enemy defense. Here's where they differ. Super Gogeta, Super Vegito. They're both going to fully recover HP. He's going to counter with tremendous power upon receiving normal attacks. And he's going to have his attacks effective against all types. Both 150% attack and defense. 4 key for every rainbow orb they grab. Wild. Wild, wild, wild. So effectively, he doesn't care about characters that guard, and he is going to act like any other Vegito in the game that counters. Well, I should say any other Super Saiyan Vegito that counters. So they're both amazing in their own right. They both belong to be in super solid, Super Saiyan solid. Who else is going up there? LR God Ku. The reason why he's going on Super Saiyan solid is he's a dual lead, which is big. Pure Saiyans, Hybrid Saiyans. His 12 key, 50% attack and defense raising. That's great for a turn. 18 key, same thing, but for 3 turns, so you can stack. And when I talk about stacking, I love stacking. So 50% increase, 3 turns. You can stack that. That's great. Gives himself 77% attack. No defense to start off, which is a little unfortunate. But for every pure or hybrid Saiyan you have on the team, you're going to gain 1 key up to 5 and 11% defense up to 55%. So the teams that he's on, Realm of Gods, Pure Saiyans, Goku's family, Kamehameha, you're going to have hybrid Saiyans or Pure Saiyans on it, like just filled up, stacked to the brim, right? So he's going to cap out at that 5 key, 55% defense. 50% attack and defense, stacking. Nice. For the first 7 turns, he's going to have a 50% chance to dodge and a 50% chance to crit, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. That means that for the first few turns, he can do quite a bit of damage early. He's very, very strong early, and even later on, he's still good because he's going to have that rolling attack and defense, right? From his super attack. His links are good: Godly Power, Warrior Gods, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, Shattering the Limit, you know, Legendary Power. His categories are good, I already mentioned it. But again, the thing that holds him back is that it is only 7 turns, which is unfortunate. And the stat boost isn't insanely high. I'd say that's the 2 major things that hold him back, because his links are fantastic. He's on great categories. He's a dual lead. His super attack is fantastic. 12 and 18 key. Love it. But that passive skill, I would have loved for the stats to be higher and for it to be 10 turns instead of 7. The LR androids on Super Saiyan Solid. These androids are very, very, very good. They're another android lead. So now we have how many android leaders? I think we have more android leads than actual in the category themselves. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 different android leads, and then we get some sub leads. So what do? Lower attack and defense, lower attack and defense. As I've said before, I'm not a huge fan of units that lower attack and defense. Lowering attack can be useful in certain areas, but I'd rather have them raise their own attack and defense, for sure. Or have some kind of mechanic, you know, chance to crit, chance to stun, chance to steal. Anyway, seal, not steal. Gives himself 1 key, attack and defense 78%. Not bad. Pretty good stats to start off. 30% chance, I believe. 30% chance? 25% chance, okay. So it's a quarter of the time you're going to be able to dodge. If your HP is 66% or more. And you're giving android category allies 2 key, 40% attack. That's fantastic if you're running androids. It is a little unfortunate that it is restricted to androids. I mean, obviously it would be way too powerful if they just gave him Turles' passive for everyone. That would be insane. But, you know, it's restricted to androids, okay? If your HP is 66% or less and you have 2 androids on his team, on your team, you can then exchange with Android 16. So Android 16 comes in for 3 turns and he's a monster. 200% attack and defense, 6 key, 50% chance to crit, guaranteed super attack if he's facing Android Cell Saga unit. And then here, what did I talk about? That stuff. Greatly raises defense for 1 turn, greatly raises attack for 1 turn. That's 50% and 50%. So all this stuff is really, really good. But the thing that sucks, it's only 3 turns and then boom, we revert back to them. So we go from a really solid support unit and doing pretty good damage, to be honest. Pretty solid, 78%. That's pretty good. To an absolute beast for 3 turns. And then they go back. So you might be able to throw them here, but I think because they only can work on Android team, like they only can work on Android team, you're not going to have multiple androids on joint forces. You ain't going to have a lot of androids on siblings bond. I mean, at most you'll get maybe 1 with the MVP 17. Like, I don't really see somebody stacking a siblings bond team with androids, though you can, I guess. Android Cell Saga you can get away with for sure. So really these 2 categories, Android Cell Saga and androids. I mean, again, maybe Target Goku you can get away with it, but there's better options for sure. So because it's restricted to this android stuff, and then obviously if you're facing Cell, but I mean, how many Cell bosses are in the game? Not many. So that's why I'm leaving him on super solid, Super Saiyan Solid. So the first unit I'm going to put up here in the Z tier. Now, some people aren't a huge fan of this Cell. I actually think he's incredible. I think he's a very solid defensive unit, and he does pretty darn good damage. He's also got a great lead in Android Cell Saga. Greatly lowers defense. I talked about it. I don't like it, but his 18 key does increase his attack by 50%, so he can actually hit fairly hard. What do you want, buddy? What are you crying for? 80% attack and defense. The more HP remaining, the bigger the defense boost it is, up to an additional 80%. So that's what, 160% defense off the bat. And then if you're facing a lot of enemy, he's just a better version of Physical Cell. He gets 1 key and 20% attack instead of 10% attack. Now, if you do somehow get down to 30% HP, then you're going to fuse, or you're going to evolve, I should say. You're going to spit yourself out and come out as like a weird little, I don't even know what, it's pretty nasty. And turn into Perfect Cell. Perfect Cell is pretty insane. You're going to fully get your HP back. You're going to massively lower defense, which I guess is pretty good, 100% lowering of the defense. And then the 18 key, again, lowers attack and defense. Not a huge fan of that. But passive skill, 4 key, 120% attack and defense. If you get four orbs, you're going to gain another 20% attack and defense. So you'll be at 140, I believe. I don't think it's calculated separately. Oh, it is. Okay, wow. Okay. That's pretty insane. So that means that if you get 8 key, you're going to be at 252% attack and defense. Or 252 attack, 208% defense. He's got an active skill, which just does a ton of damage. Ultimate damage. Massively lowers defense. So this dude does insane amounts of damage and has really high defense. He is pretty much just the best cell in the game at this point, right? By far, it's not even close. He's the best cell in the game when he comes here. Unfortunately, you have to drop down below 30% HP, and sometimes you will die trying to get there, so that's not good. But even in this form, he's really, really solid, so I do like. So another Z is going to be this Broly, and actually let's bring all his forms, and let's also bring the other transform cell. The fact that he doesn't have any stats, no passive if he's not super attacking, a little unfortunate, right? So he has to super attack to gain 90% attack and defense. If it's an ultra attack, he's gaining another 50% attack, which is pretty darn good, right? And then if he's facing 2 or more enemies, he's going to launch an additional super attack. So that's good. Lower enemies defense, greatly lowers enemies defense. Not a fan. Not a fan of that. But then he transforms, start the fourth turn, which I love that there's no other requirement. Just, hey, 4th turn, he's transforming, whether you like it or not. At this point, he's still lowering enemies defense. His 18 key is better at massively lowering enemies defense, so that's pretty good. But at this point, he's the best Broly in the game. Attack and defense 100%. Again, it has to be doing a super attack, so if you get hit before you do the super attack, then you're going to get absolutely blasted. If it's an ultra super attack, then it's another 88% attack on that. He's going to guarantee an additional attack. That's a 25% chance. Of course, that's only against 1 enemy, and it's guaranteed super if he's facing 2 enemies. By the way, that it looks like that attack. Yeah, here it is. So his active skill gives himself 24 key, 48% attack for 1 turn. Calculated separately, so that increases his total attack boost to 326.24%. But he does an insane amount of damage. His links are good with Broly type units. Again, his main drawbacks is the fact that if he gets hit before he super attacks, then yeah, he's a dunzo. And that's really about it. That's his main drawback, right? We're gonna throw the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Now, typically, I would throw Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I'd actually say that Super Saiyan 4 Goku is slightly better than the Vegeta, but I'm gonna talk about them together. And just for tier purposes, like I said, I'm going to throw them in the same tier, even though I do think that the Goku is slightly better than the Vegeta. I don't think it's a huge difference. So these guys are very, very similar in what they do. Yeah, my audio is still good. So attack 80%, defense 20%, and every turn, he's going to gain an additional 20% defense up to 80. So he'll be at attack 80, defense 80. Now Vegeta does the exact opposite. Starts at 80% defense, going to gain 20% attack at the start up to 80%. So he'll finish at 80% defense, 80% attack. They're both going to get 3 ki for any rainbow orb, but Goku gets Goku gets 4 ki for AGL, Vegeta gets 4 ki for strength. They're both going to have a 25% chance. Where's the dodge? 30% chance to dodge super attacks and counter. Both of them have that. They both have an active skill. On the 4th turn, massively raises attack, which is 100%, I believe. Where's that? Massively raises. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, here it is. 100%. And ultimate damage just does 550%. This is insane. But yeah, so they do this active skill for both of them does actually insane damage. Here's the key difference between the two is in their super attacks. Okay. Vegeta, when he 12 keys super attacks, massively raises attack. Goku, with his 12 key, massively raises defense. Their 18 key is the same. They both massively raise attack and defense. But Vegeta, unfortunately, only has an 80% attack or 80% defense bonus if he's thrown out a 12 key. Whereas Goku may have 20%, but then it gets multiplied by 100%. He's getting a multiply of 100%, raises defense by 100% for 1 turn. So this man, if he's able to get his super attack off, is actually a better defensive unit than this Vegeta at 12 key. Though you would look at him and be like, whoa, I thought he was the more defensive unit. No, it's actually Goku, which is insane. At 12 key. Again, this is at 12 key super attack. Eventually they get to be exactly the same. But if they've gone through a few turns, right? 4 turns, and they're both at 80% attack and defense. Every time this man 12 key super attacks, he'll actually do more damage than Goku, but he'll be more defensive than Vegeta. It's like so opposite when they first came out. It's like, oh, Vegeta's the defensive unit, Goku's the offensive unit. No, Goku is the defensive unit, Vegeta is the offensive unit, which is insane. And if we take a look at their stats, excuse me, very, very similar. I think they're actually exactly the same. No. So Goku's defense, 12,931, 12,981. Attack, 21,720, 21,780. Like very, very close. You know, these guys are very similar. But I do give the Goku because in this day and age, defense does play a more important role. So typically, I would put Goku right above him slightly, but for now, we're going to leave him on the same tier. Who else is on this tier? Goku Frieza. No passive if he gets attacked first. So Goku Frieza can get absolutely murked in difficult events if he's getting attacked first. And even then, 77% defense after you attack. Not a crazy amount. Yes, he lowers attack. Yes, he lowers attack and defense. But here's the problem with those 12 and 18 key uses. This is the reason why I don't like a lower attack and defense, because some bosses are just immune to that effect. It just doesn't do anything to them. So that negates some of the biggest, guns that you have. Whereas if you're increasing your defense, if you're increasing your attack, they can't take that away from you. Can't take that away from you. So that's why, to me, buffing yourself, buffing your team is way more important than debuffing an enemy. Way more important. Anyway, Attack and defense 77% when attacking. Let's just make that clear. He just has to attack, or they just have to attack. They don't have to super attack. Just a normal attack is fine. 77% attack and defense. If you're doing an ultra attack, another 77% attack. If the enemy is in attack down status, another 77% attack. So this dude can do phenomenal damage, but he is not a good defensive unit. No matter what anybody tells you, no matter what APT they're trying to bring out, or DPT, whatever, sounds wrong, but just know, in his very best state, rainbow level, with support units that are just boosting up his defense, the best rotation he could possibly have, he's like 195,000 rainbow level, best rotation, which he's not gonna have every turn, but best rotation possible. He's like 195, which there's units that surpass that on turn 2. Again, that's his best rotation. So then he'll drop back down to like 140, which is okay. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not, for an LR, it's okay. His defense 13,777, not horrible. But he's not what someone would say a great defensive unit. He's passable. He's good. All right. He excels in damage. That's what he does. Another reason why I'm not putting him on the highest tier, like some people want to, is his category is very small. Representative Universe 7, right? He's definitely usable on the other 3 categories that he's on. Full Power for sure, Joint Forces for sure, Universal Survival Saga for sure. Universal Survival Saga is another category that's a little skimpy too, right? You have the Kaioken, you have Hit, you have Jiren. These are free to plays. Kale and Caulifla, good, and then a lot of the Universe 6 and Universe 7 units, and that's about it. Like that's it. We're in the SSRs now. This is the category right here, and like a quarter of these are free to play. So this is also a very small category. So it's really just Full Power and Joint Forces are the 2 big categories. So that's why he is not top tier. So he's staying here in the Z tier. Last person that's staying in the Z tier, Gohan. Even though he's one of my favorite characters in the game, he's not one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball though. But in the game, at least, this is one of my favorite characters because he's got that D word that I love. It's not what you're thinking, for God's sakes. Defense. He's got defense. He's got defense all day. His 12 key raises his defense. His 18 key raises his defense. It's fantastic. He starts off at 100% attack and defense. Every turn, he's going to gain 1 key, 10% attack and defense. 5 key, 70% max. So he'll be at 5 key and 177% attack and defense. I don't know, I had a brain fart for a second. His links are great. Kamehameha, Prepare for Battle, Golden Warrior, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan. He's on, I think 14.4 billion categories. I think that's the last time they counted it. He's on more categories than the stars in the sky. His Kamehameha category is an amazing team. And if you just stopped here with this LR, I think you can confidently leave him in Z tier. I think you could. I think you can confidently leave him in Z tier. But he also has the awakening that he does. He also transforms. Now here's the problem. Obviously, as everyone knows, his active skill to awaken is the worst in the game. Like, there is not even close. It's the worst. So first off, you have to be below 58% HP. And you have to have Android 16 on your team. Now, he only shares Android Cell Saga with Android 16. So they would both have to be under an LR Cell lead or the AGL or Intelligence Krillin. One of the Krillins that's a Android Cell Saga lead. They would both have to be on there. They share like no links, so that feels bad. The second option is, again, be under 58% HP. This time you have to wait 5 turns and you have to have some Android on your team. And realistically, the only way to pull that off is either, like I said, the Android Cell Saga team, or put him on, where is he? Goku's family / siblings bond with LR Go Bros, and then bring physical MVP 17 onto the team. So at least physical 17 will be under siblings bond. He'll be a support unit, and he'll fit that Android, he'll fit that Android, requirement. And realistically, you shouldn't be going below 58% HP before the first 5 turns anyway. So, I mean, it's kind of giving them a cheap excuse why you can pull that off. But even still, it is kind of sad that, like, you need all those things to really line up to be able to have him to transform. Once he transforms, I think he does more one-shot damage than any other unit in the game. I think it's like he has the highest possible attack in the game. He gains 20% attack, 7% defense per orb, plus an additional 1 key for every orb that he gets, so 2 key for every normal orb. He randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow if he's facing one enemy. He launches an additional super attack when he's facing normal or multiple enemies, and if he's got Super Saiyan Goku in his same turn, he's going to gain an additional 59% when he's doing an ultra super attack. And that is calculated separately, so that means that he'll actually be gaining 31.8% attack per key sphere, not just 20. So if you change the entire, field, he'll gain 31.8% attack per orb, which is absolutely insane. Because of his garbage activation here, I can't put him as the top tier. I can't. First off, the old heads going back in. Kalen Caulifla, Go Bros going back in. You already know they're going back in. I mean, do we even have to go over those 2 units? I mean, I don't think we do, but we'll quickly go over Kalen Caulifla, the best defensive unit in the game. Joint Forces category lead. So far, our only good Joint Forces category lead, because the other one is 120%, and then the last one is 100% right here. And then what the hell is the EZA? 77%. Yeah, so that ain't happening. But yeah, LR Kalen Caulifla, I mean, stacking defense, 12 key, 18 key, 66% attack, gonna gain 1 key every attack, gonna gain 6% dodge every attack, up to 66%, up to 6 key. Depending on how many Universe 6 Joint Forces or Pure Saiyans members on her team, she'll gain 10% attack for each. If one person is on Universe 6 Joint Forces or Pure Saiyans, which I don't think anybody is except for her TUR version, she'll gain 30%. But if they're on 2 of the categories, Pure Saiyans and Joint Forces, then she'll gain 20% attack, or vice versa, like Kaba, Pure Saiyan Universe 6, 20% attack, etc., etc. If she's facing a Universal Survival Saga enemy, then she's going to do an additional super attack. If she's facing a Pure Saiyan category enemy, which a majority of enemies are, another super attack. If she's facing a Pure Saiyan from Universal Survival Saga, which by the way is, Ultra Instinct Goku, Master Ultra Instinct Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Cow Ken Goku, she'll super attack twice on top of her normal super attack. And she's got this additional attack, so she can end up super attacking 3-4 times, sometimes 5. Actually insane. Like, The best defensive unit in the game. People like rate her defense, like, yeah, she stacks defense, that's really good. Yeah, she also gets 66% dodge. Do we just forget about that? That she has 66% dodge? That's actually insane. Anyway, let's go to the Go Bros. I'll tell you why I have the Go Bros so high. The Go Bros are actually insane. Like, they are actually stupid how good they are. Here's the reason. Number one, their category, they have the two best categories. Like, they have the best pair of categories, in my opinion. Siblings Bond and Goku's Family. You can make such nasty combinations on these two categories. Goku's Family, one of the most busted categories in the game, because you got Goku's, Gohan's, and Bardock's, right? And then Siblings Bond has 17s, 18s, Beerus's, Trunks, Vegeta's. I think they have one of the most broken double leader skills in the game. On top of that, 50% raising his attack, 50% raising his attack. What did I tell you about? I love characters that buff themselves. So 12 key, he's going to give himself a 50% increase in attack. 18 key, he's going to give himself a 50% increase in attack. He starts off with attack and defense 58%. But here's the thing. Every time he attacks, he's going to gain 1 key and 10% attack and defense. So he'll go up to 5 key and 100% attack and defense. This is why this passive is so broken. Because normally you would look at it and you would say like, okay, every time he attacks, so that means that it's going to take him 5 times to attack. It's going to take him 10 times to get up to attack and defense 100%. Like, that's not that great. This dude has a guaranteed additional attack. And remember, this is just with each attack performed, not super attack. It's each attack performed. So that means he's minimum attacking twice every turn. So it's really going to take him 5 turns to get stacked up, right? He'll have his key by turn 2, maybe turn 3, he'll be stacked up maximum. I'm sorry, not minimum, maximum 5 turns. It will take him at most 5 turns. Most likely it'll take you 4, because there's most likely going to be a time where you get an additional attack, right? If you have a dupe in him, because obviously he's going to have crit as his free dupe there. But if you have a dupe in him, like I have in mine, then you're probably going to get an additional attack in one of those 4 turns. So in 4 turns, he's at his max stat. And this dude does stupid amounts of defense, because remember I told you that he raises his attack by 50% every single time he super attacks? Well, if he's super attacking 2-3 times, that's stacking on top of each other. So it keeps on getting higher and higher and higher. And oh, by the way, if you drop below 60% health, 59%, and you're only facing 1 enemy, and it's been 3 turns, which it probably has been, then you get an active skill. 100% raise your attack, why not? Ultimate damage, which is what, 550% damage buff. Like, actually insane. So again, the attack and defense is calculated separately. So in reality, when they're stacked up after 10 attacks, which is going to take you maximum 5 turns, probably more like 4, he'll be at attack and defense 216% just off rip. And he's raising his super attack by 50% every single time he supers during that turn. It's stupid. He does so much damage. This man took out Master to Ultra Instinct Goku. Like, the fastest speedrun I've ever seen of Legendary Goku event was done in 6 minutes by this rainbowed unit. Not even Tech Super Vegito can do it faster than him. So he has the record for the fastest speedrun. He blazes through stuff. It's insane. He's like the quickest. He can pump out more damage faster than any other unit in this game. It's insane. There's units that can get like a higher 1 attack stat, like, oh, Intelligence Rose Goku Black. First turn does 5 million damage. That's pretty insane. But when this dude gets rolling, it's like, okay, 7 million attack. Oh, the next one is 8.5 million. Oh, the next one is 10 million. Oh, Okay, so he just did 3 super attacks, and he just did almost 20 million damage. It's insane. By the way, I put Godku in the Super Saiyan Solid tier, which is more like Super Solid tier. So that's where I put Super Saiyan God Goku LR, right here. Now the last entry is going in ZZ tier, and listen, I may change my mind next month. I gotta use him out a little bit more. I gotta use this Goku out a little bit more. But this Goku is bonkers. First off, he's Super Saiyan category lead, which is great. His 12 key raises his defense by 50%, and his 18 key lowers attack and defense, which I'm not a huge fan of, like I said before, but he seals super attack guaranteed, which is fantastic. This is the reason why this guy is so good. Attack and defense 59%, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow, which I love any unit that does that. He gains 3 key for every rainbow orb he gets, so you already know his 18 keys are going to constantly show up. And for every orb that he gets, attack and defense 7%. It's not bad. But if he's on, listen, if you're looking at Goku's family, you're gonna have a bunch of Super Saiyans on it. If you're on Super Saiyan category, always gonna have Super Saiyans on it. If you're on movie heroes, ton of Super Saiyans on it. Pure Saiyans, ton of Super Saiyans on it. Last resort, Super Saiyans. So why am I mentioning all this stuff? Because if you have a bunch of Super Saiyan allies, then what's going to happen is he's going to gain an additional 7% attack per Super Saiyan ally on that rotation. So he's not going to have 7% attack and defense. It'll be 21% attack, 7% defense. So this man does just like casually, when he's not trying, 4 million damage. That's just when he's not trying. He's not trying. He's doing 4 million damage. When you actually have really good links and like a support on his rotation that has Super Saiyan, 8 million, 9 million, 10 million damage. Like the amount of damage that he does is ludicrous. And his defense is solid. 59% is not the best, but you can 12 key to get that 50% defense. You're looking at his links, 10% for Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Experienced Fighters, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. So the amount of damage, max damage he can do. Like I said, this dude, unlike the Goku Frieza, and the reason why I rate him higher than Goku Frieza is number one, he does have a passive even without attacking. So if he gets attacked first, at least he's got 59% defense on top of his 14,000 defense essentially and 23,000 HP. But on top of that, he gives himself his own orbs because he changes them to rainbow. He's going to get 3 key per rainbow orb. And if he's got Super Saiyans on his rotation, which he will because all his teams are going to have Super Saiyans on it, he does absurd amounts of damage. So he's very self-sufficient. Now, maybe next month I might move him down here after I use him more often because the Go Bros and Kale Caulifla are that busted. But for now, he's got that new car smell on him. You know what I mean? He's got that new car smell. And just, he pumps out so much damage. That's one thing that he does obviously much better than Kale Caulifla and Go Bros is right off the bat, he pumps out damage, bro. Like, just so much damage right in the beginning. So that's why I have him, as my girlfriend sneezes a bunch of times. I would say bless you, but she can't hear me. Bless you anyway. You know, what's it called? That's why I have him up there. That's why I have him right now in the ZZ tier. So there we go. B for basic, A for average, AA for above average, S for solid, SS for super solid, SSS for super solid or Super Saiyan solid, Z for zoinks, I don't know, and then ZZ for ZZ top. I don't know what I'm doing here. But yeah, that is my LR tier list. If you disagree with any of it, let me know. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, consider what you're doing with your life. Go ahead and gently rub that subscribe button, gingerly ring that bell button, essentially kiss the like button. As always, is Periodic. See y'all in the next video.